topic is, what's a piece of advice you wish you were given sooner in your life, and why?
Oh, man.
Do you have yours already, Julian? Because I think this is taking.
No, I don't. I purposely don't think of the answer.
Just like, you should be like more open about everything, or just like don't be afraid to like hold every little thing inside. I feel like that's dangerous, and I feel like it made high. I feel like it made high school very stressful. Um, because like, yeah, I just felt like I was like not expressing, like not being honest with anyone, like not expressing like how I genuinely feel about things or a person. Um, and I feel like that really dragged me down. It made me a more anxious person, I think. And I think now I'm beginning to understand like the things that make me happy. Uh, Whereas in the past, I was a little bit lost in that regard on like how to.
So if you were giving a commencement speech, how would you sum that up into into a soundbite? Like, give your commencement speech. You're the graduation speaker. What are you telling the class of 2021?
Yeah, follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Fuck the past and follow your dreams. That's what I would say. That's it. I dropped the mic and then I'm gone. They paid this guy $100,000 for that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely like not. Yeah, another thing I wish I like knew about. I feel like I'm very. Or there are times where I'm very like reminiscent. Like I'm always so sad that like time has passed and like that what's in the past is gone. But like really like the most exciting part about life is what's going on now. You know. Um,
Fuck nostalgia.
Yeah, fuck nostalgia. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm serious about that, honestly.
No, I
I'm
agree,
like
yo.
anti-nostalgia.
Fuck all of it, yo. It's dumb. Like.
Whoa.
Yeah, like.
I'm listening. I'm learning.
It's not worth it.
It's toxic. Nostalgia's so toxic.
It's so toxic, yo. Like it's all about the here and the now, and like just know that like you got your whole life ahead of you.
Like, also, like just to add on to that, I know I was just as miserable today as I was a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
there are those days.
Miserable. Yeah, you know, like just because like memory is the least truthful form of reality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's true in the courtroom, and it's true on the emotional battlefield between people. You know what I'm saying? Just memory is not accurate, and nostalgia is just you hating yourself. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
well, that's just me. You know, I just never really get caught up. Wait, what were you gonna say, Emma?
No, I just said like, no, I'm listening. Can you speak your truth? I'm like, whoa. Never heard you guys speak about this, I guess.
What's your take?
Well, it's all changing now. I don't know. I mean, I was I think maybe it speaks exactly to that point of like why it's just sometimes unhelpful to live in the past. But like I remember in high school, like we had to write like kind of a senior project, and I also did it in college, and both of them were related to like nostalgia and time and like senses of memory and how those like it just like interests me so much how you can hold that in your brain and then also be experiencing things in the present. But like, I don't know, when I think about, yeah, memory is so malleable. But it also like is sometimes all that you have of certain experiences or people. Like when you know, and you know, there's I think that there are different experiences within being nostalgic. If it's like, oh man, I wish I could go back, or like like things were better then. Why aren't they like that now? Like that isn't necessarily helpful, but there's something fun to or important to me if I'm like with a friend and we're like looking back at something that we did, and that's very nostalgic, or like listening to something that before, like yeah. Wait, okay. I wish I could find. I wrote something about the Booyah kids. I'll find it and I'll see if I can send it. But it was just about like how this idea of it's not necessarily like wishing you could go right back there, but just specifically with music and how nostalgic that can be, or how memories can live in music, because it's the same song as it was then, but it's the same through an entire space, and there's something beautiful to be able to like visit back to everything that made it then. I don't know. Or I do know. I guess that's my take, or what I'm thinking right now.
Nah, yeah, I think...
I just remember,
yeah.
I remember when I first went to college, Aiden and I would always FaceTime each other, being so sad and so nostalgic about high school.
Yeah.
It was always like, damn, like we're at college now, and the music here sucks so much, and I just want to go back to what we had in high school. You know what I mean? Or like, and then I think we probably both had a realization at the same time that we're like songs, as you're saying, are like emotional capsules. They're time capsules. You know what I mean? But like the way a song feels is not, to me, always reflective of how I felt in that moment. You know what I mean? I can write like, because at least for me, I can operate very aesthetically. Let's say at the time I was very interested in making a little more of like a homey, warm sounding record. You know what I'm saying? I can look back on that 3 years later and be like, oh my God, I just want to go back to being so homey and warm, and like when music was about that. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, when I was there, all I wanted to do was go back to high school when music was just about having fun, But the reality is for me that if you stuck a camera in any of those sessions, you'd see me fucking furious in all of them. You know what I mean? You stuck a camera in our band practice in high school, you would see a tyrant at work, making everybody feel bad. If you stuck a camera into my room in the summer of 2018, you'd see me struggling with so many people, you know what I mean? And feeling so intimidated by so many people and struggling with my own skills, you know what I'm saying? And like, I guess the thing about memories for me, and this is just me, I'm only speaking for myself here because, everybody has their own experience. But like, and I hate to get so intense, but like, you have a loved one in your family, and then they pass away, you know what I mean? And like someone's very important in your life, and then time passes, and as time passes, the memory of that person fades. Like, whether you want it to or not, you know what I mean? Eventually, what that person's voice sounds like, the way they act, their essence, that presence in your life slowly fades whether you want it to or not. You know what I'm saying? And what you can do is create a fictionalized version of something in your brain that all of a sudden fills a lot of that kind of fake memory, or you can accept that something is slowly fading and you're changing and you're different, and the past, we can never get back to the past again. But that's just my perspective. I'm not trying to project that onto anybody else.
Got you. Yeah, I think they're definitely like, I have lots of good memories, which I go back to when it's the only thing I have, like, I don't know, what memories do I think about a lot? There are a lot of memories with you guys that I think about a lot, that strike me as just like exceptional points in my life, Um, and Julian, what you said about songs being time capsules, I agree with a lot. There are certain songs where like it's less about the aesthetic and more that I have something to say because this is how I'm feeling, and I think those kinds of songs serve very well as time capsules and can really surmise like the emotional condition of my life at that time. And I think that's super powerful. Um, or like you can make something and then you look back on it and then it's funny, you can be like, oh shit, was I really feeling that way? I think that's kind of funny.
Did I really not want to go to bed that night?
That's what the people want to know. Did you go to the movies?
Yeah, man. Did I really not want to be there?
Did you eat all those things?
Was I really at the circulation desk?
All I have to say is that time will always heal your pain.
What I've been hearing, like maybe I haven't been hearing, but I've been hearing, I guess, like reading or hearing that phrase, and people are like, "That's not helpful. Don't say that." And I was like, "Whoa."
It's just true though. Like,
we change with time.
Like, things fade. Like, you move forward. It's definitely like super hurtful sometimes. The idea of like
you've been hearing the time will always heal your pain is the wrong mantra.
Yeah, but I can't recall where that is now, but where I've been hearing that now. But I've just been like, what? Or then I'd be like, that's funny. There's a song called that. I don't know.
There is, yeah.
Wow,
we've gone deep.
No, this was
weird. I don't know.
Fuck the past.
I definitely was. Yeah. Yeah, definitely guilty of the like. I wish I could go back to that, or like that was so much better than this present moment. But like.
There are definitely times.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm about to say something though.
No, yeah. I don't know how to say though, but can you hear what you were gonna say, Aiden?
There are definitely times when I feel like at my lowest in life, I've expressed that the most, that I want to go back to the past, because definitely like high school, like not studying, not like being in the same kind of musical relationships with people as I was in high school versus when I got to college was a huge hit to me. But yeah, like I'm just excited for tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, like that's what I live for.
Yeah, I think I had to. Yeah, learning that for sure. Yeah, especially in like in quarantine right now, just thinking about like, all right, just it feels like such a different vacuum of time compared to any other experience of time that I've had, and I imagine that's true for a lot of people. So, just like really being present in that, and like not because it's literally all we have. But I think if I'm gonna I think this connects also to like some advice, which is that I was like given, wish I was given earlier, or maybe I was probably given it earlier, but didn't really embody. I guess like one is just, I don't know. It's very cheesy. It's like there's only one you, like there's only one you. So I don't even know how it ends, but just that sentiment of like I overthink to understand. I'm like very anxious and yeah, just like comparing, myself to other people or wishing I could do better, feeling like I'm talking too much, like all these things that are that, or like being like really shitty to myself, to my brain or to my body, which is like this is literally the vessel and the brain that you're gonna have for your life, and like this is yours, and there's only one you. So I think I struggled with that for a while, even if I knew that was the truth. Now I'm like, that is the truth, absolutely. And so, living in a more present way, thinking and acting in a more present way, and also like being more grateful to what this thing can do for me, or the relationship in my life, or the opportunities that do or don't come my way, So I think about that. Also.
Yeah.
So what's your tagline for the class of 2021?
Class of 2021. There's only one you. So get out there and be yourself. But you gotta be kind and all those things. It's got like a parentheses at the end somewhere. That's what I got.
Beautiful. Julian, what's yours?
Okay. I don't know, man.
Class of 2020,
I've been
come
listening
on.
So I know. I've been listening so intently. You guys are both so inspiring. I'm trying to. Oh, sometimes I'll turn on the preaching. I'll get to the preaching. I'll get to it. I gotta ease into it.
Turn it on. No. 0 to 100. Let's go.
I'm trying to think of some advice. I keep returning to like life is like a series of decisions, and you can't really take back any of those decisions.
Yeah.
Like so many times in life, you're going to be faced with a fork in the road. You know what I mean? Whether it's a small fork in the road or a big fork in the road. But no matter what decision you make, like you can still live your best life. Like there's no real path of darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like you can fuck up your life. You can decide to never do your math homework. You know what I'm saying? And then fail math and get held back. But you know what I mean? That doesn't mean that you're living not your best life. You know what I mean? Everything can still be a blessing. You know, like, well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. It's just like, oftentimes, like, you're faced with something in life where there's no right answer. Like, you just got to choose between two things. You know what I mean? And neither of them are what you actually want to do. You know what I mean? Like, so many times, like, what you want to do, what you wish could happen, is actually off the table. You know what I'm saying? So you're faced with the decision, let's say it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different things you can do. And I don't really know what the moral is here, but I think it's just helpful to realize that how many decisions we make. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think so often we've got our blinders on, and we're kind of just moving forward, and we just think we're just going down this path, and like, you know what I mean? But really, you're navigating all these forks in the road, you know, and those twists and turns are just decisions you're making. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just moving and turning. Like, there are a lot of different decisions that are happening. I don't know if there's a moral here or advice. I guess that's not advice.
Class of 21, what are you going to say, man?
I'm not as good at this as you guys are. What's my advice for the class of 2021? I think it's that you should do what feels obvious to you. Like, if something just seems right, it probably is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the best answer is usually not the most complicated answer. It's usually just kind of like the most obvious answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving good advice, man.
No,
you're killing it.
I'm receiving it.
I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling inspired.
Oh, I'm trying.
Make a decision.
What else? I'm trying to get a good kicker in.
Yeah, you gotta get the kicker. That's.
I think it's like, to sum it all up, I think it's like you, until you find someone to go along your journey with you, are on a journey. You know what I mean? And if you don't have an idea of what your destination is, then you're just wandering aimlessly. You know what I mean? But you can't get from A to B unless you have a clear vision of what D is. You know what I mean? You have to have a strong idea of the biggest picture in order to make steps to make the smaller picture. Like, you know what I mean?
That makes sense. That makes sense. And it's inspiring.
Okay. That's my class of 2021.
Dude, they're standing O, yo. Standing O. Everyone's pumped up to go to work.